Hello and welcome back to Void Dreaming. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is having the conversation with Bromka. And before that, it was a whole, situation where this pirate captain lady was looking for Anwill, who she is claiming to be her simulant. And we don't really know what's going on with Anwill at this point. Even Bromka, who is the ship's doctor, is sort of conflicted about the whole situation where it's like, if he was knowledgeable enough, if he could, in his own words, basically like step up to the plate, he should be able to resolve this, but he doesn't really know what's going on with the guy. And there's a whole lot of issues that Bromka's having himself. And we found out the origin of the surname, I think that's what it's called, the Ka in Bromka. And yeah, it was not a pretty, it was bad how he ended up getting it. And it kind of seemed like it wasn't really his fault, to be honest. And while I could kind of see how his family and the tribe and the family of the person that he was treating would probably see it that way. I mean, like, come on. He was only working with what he had. And if the other doctor was any sort of competent and confident in his student, he would have unlocked the machine to allow Bromka to save the kid, but they didn't. So, it really wasn't Bromka's fault. But unfortunately, how he was raised and with the whole village and everything, he took it very hard and took it to heart, I guess, in a way. So he is having trouble, I guess, moving past that in a way. But anyways, so we're rounding out the ending of this update, and I'm wondering what's going to happen, even though I already know what's going to happen. But yeah, so without further ado, let us continue. Yes, picking who we're going to end the day with. And I already know who. Gee, I wonder where I'm going to go again. But not for the same person. A trip to the commissary could be just what you or your stomach needed. You head in half expecting to find someone present there. The commissary tends to be a pretty popular place for all obvious reasons. However, aside from a lingering scent of alcohol, and from the smell of it, not even a very good alcohol, the room is empty. You're contemplating turning around when footsteps reach your ears. Those ears perk and you turn around to see Zuberi coming from the corridor. His eyes fall on you, and he smiles, nodding once. How are you doing, Rail? Hungry? You pat your belly and smile. Brom took care of that for me. He'll do that, for sure. Thing is, I'm expecting someone here, Anwill. Oh. It takes you a moment for that to process. Anwill, out of his room? Off lockdown? Why, if I can ask? You can. I'm just hoping to get some more information out of him. Some intel, any intel really, about what we're dealing with, and why. Could meet him at his quarters, or yours. The older wolf nods and looks around himself. I could, but the commissary's a friendlier space, less constricting. His nostrils flare. Even if it could do with a better clean. But I'm glad that you're here, and Anwill responds pretty well to you. Could maybe help me out. Keep him calm while we try and sort out this mess. You think just being here will help? I don't know, but I don't think that it could hurt much. You don't mind sticking around, helping out? Sure. Yeah, Anwill could probably use a friend. If your presence could help set Anwill more at ease, then so much the better. Yeah, I'm happy to help. I bet he could use a friendly face right now. Zuberi nods, though he cocks his head at you. That's the only motivation? Being a friend? Well, no, but you can't really deny that he probably needs one. When he first came aboard, you asked us what we thought. I thought keeping him was the best course of action. It came up again after his introduction, too. Yeah, and I decided at that point that I'd want to help him, if we could. I mean, you decided, I didn't want to. Zuberi shrugs and nods at you. People can always change their minds. I guess now you mostly want to be there for him. He's been through a lot, and this has all got to be taking a massive toll on him. It doesn't change the bad spot that he's put us in, but circumstances are different now, I understand. It's very kind of you to still offer him that comfort. I respect it. Anything else Zuberi might have said is cut off at the sound of Anwill stepping into the commissary. The Martin's head and shoulders are low. He looks like the condemned, on the way to their execution. You can't help but feel a little sorry for him. Speak for yourself. Thank you for coming. I didn't have much of a choice, did I? The words twist Zuberi's muzzle for a moment. When Anwill looks up and sees you, though, his eyes widen. The Martin actually smiles a little, though he quickly composes himself again. I didn't expect to see you here, too. I thought you could use a friendly face. This time, the smile sticks for a little bit longer. I'm glad. So am I. Please, come over, sit down. Anwill nods and does as he's commanded. You do the same, sitting across the table from him. Can I get you something? Food? Drink? I'm fine, thank you. Rail? Still good? I'm good. Thanks for the offering, though. Zuberi nods as he gets to work with the replicator. Oba explained why I wanted you to come here? She did. Stars, Anwill sounds so downcast. You can't blame him, really, but still. You understand how awkward the situation is for all of us. I appreciate you being willing to engage. Like I said, I don't have much of a choice. I can't get you to trust me if I don't communicate, right? What do you want to know? Zuberi looks up from the replicator to stare straight at Anwill. If the Martin is bothered, he doesn't show it. Can I trust you, Anwill? Anwill frowns, looking down at the table for a moment. When his head lifts again, though, his eyes have hardened. It doesn't matter. Not in the grand scheme of things, no. But it matters to me. Then no, you can't. Of course you can't, and you shouldn't. You blink in confusion. Anwill glances your way briefly, but then his eyes are back on Zuberi once more. Nothing I've said or done since I came aboard has helped you in any way. It's only led you to conflict with pirates, the same ones after me. You can't trust me because I'm untrustworthy. I can't be trustworthy because I can't verify anything that I tell you. Stars, if Shivri could see me now. Anwill shrugs as Zuberi stoningly watches him. I can't control what you do. Trust me if you want. Don't trust me if you want. Like I said, it doesn't matter. And, like I said, it matters to me. Wouldn't you prefer us to trust you? Of course I would. But how can I? You can give me something to work with. Give us something that we can corroborate. The Martin scoffs as a replicator pings for the captain's attention. He starts to withdraw the food from it as Anwill speaks. Like what? I'm asking seriously. What can I possibly say or do to earn your trust? That Lydia said that I was a simulant. How do I begin to refute something so insane when your own doctor doesn't fully disbelieve it? To be fair, I'm pretty sure Brahm does believe it. Believe you, I mean, not her. Zuberi rounds the corner and brings over a bowl of stew, setting it down at the head of the table before he sits down before it and waves towards Anwill. But let's start there. Why would Lydia get it in her head that you're a simulant? Anwill throws his paws up, leaning back in his chair as he gives an exasperated sigh. Captain, how could I possibly know the answer to that? How could I possibly have any idea at all? What in the world was she talking about? You're IGA smart by your own admission. And you've had time to think about this. Don't tell me that you don't have a damn thing to show for it. Anwill's jaws lock up as he stares down at the table again. Gently relate to him. You figure a softer, sympathetic approach might make the best inroads here. Also, it kind of seems better to manipulate somebody when they trust you than to scare them into it. She's a pirate, Anwill. We can't take anything that she says as absolute truth. You know that, right? He looks up at you, eyes narrowing slightly before he relaxes. I know that, normally. That would make sense. What's normal about the situation, though? You sigh. This won't be pleasant. Anwill, I wrote the ship's new nav soft. Before that, my soft killed the whole AG ship. I'm here trying to fix it. His jaw drops. That's about what you expected. He told the crew, trusted us to make up our own minds about him and his work. Just so you know, I'm trying to trust you too. Anwill nods. He still looks a little shocked, though he's having a hard time of this. I appreciate it. So believe me when I say that I know what this is like. I know what it is to be in an environment where no one trusts you. The looks on the AG staff faces after what happened with my Navsoft, and how my own team looked at me. Stars, that was so hard. But that's not where you are now. That's not here with this crew. They don't understand. No, they don't. But do you think I might? His eyes struggle to meet yours. Maybe. We don't believe that this is all your fault, and that's not what we're saying. We're trying to put this all together, Anwill, just like you are. We're trying to protect you, and we need your help to protect us as well. The Martin seems to mull over your words, nodding slowly. He does seem a bit more relaxed now, and Zuberi's nodding along in appreciation. The Martin's eyes turn back to Zuberi. I swear, I have told you everything that I know. Everything that I know, you two know. I haven't held anything back. All I can do is, I don't know, clarify? I'll take clarity. So, let's address that simulant thing. You watch Anwill groan and sigh. He definitely doesn't like this line of questioning. No, let's not. Excuse me? I can't clarify anything there for you. I'm not a simulant. You said your doctor doesn't think I'm a simulant. There's nothing more than I can do to prove or disprove it. That's not what I'm saying. That sure surprises Anwill. He looks to Zuberi with more suspicion on his face, though his eyes do flicker briefly to you. Then what is it? At best, Little's a liar, and she's trying to turn us against you. At worst, BSS lied to the pirates hunting you, spun a story to hook them. So what I'm saying is that I don't think that you're a simulant. Relief almost buckles the Martin. So, with that in mind, I want to know what BSS might have wanted to come after you for. They might have concocted a lie like that to get them to go after you. Anwill's head lifts. He gives a long, slow shake of his head. I haven't been able to slice the data that Sheffrey sent me. I'm sure the answer's in there. And you still won't let us help you with it? No. You watch the captain's facial expression tighten. His ears flick back for a moment before they tip forward again. He's trying so hard not to come across as aggressive. You know how that looks to me, right? I do, and I don't care. That's not something that I can do. I won't. If I need help, I'll ask for it. This is too important for me to trust anyone else. We're not trustworthy? He sighs. I appreciate what you're trying, but I can't trust anyone with this. Not right now. You nod. Maybe in his position you do the same. This isn't a matter of trust. This is a matter of survival now. It's both. And you're not so dim as to not see that. I know you're smarter than that, Captain. A thin smile curls along Zuberi's muzzle. Okay then, let's talk about your A-Tripper. Interesting that Zuberi brings up Anwill's ruined ship. Given the logs that you saw, this could be informative. What do you want to know? Indulge an old spacer. Why an A-Tripper? It was cheap. Zuberi barks a quick laugh, but Anwill's not finished. I'm not trying to be funny. I only had a small amount of physical scrip on me. I scrapped the simulant, and as much as I could from my ship to afford it. Let's focus on that then. An A-Tripper's not worth a few scrap parts. I don't know what to tell you, Captain. I don't know much about the cost of ships. I don't know much about the ships at all. Zuberi nods to you after a moment. When Rail went over, I told him to get to you, tag you for displays, and get out. He didn't do that. He sliced your data logs while he was over there. Anwill blinks with confusion as he turns towards you. You shrug back at him. Nearly got me killed. And that made you suspicious? The recent logs just detail the attack on your ship, corroborated everything that we learned from you. The nav logs were a bit more interesting though. How? From what Rail said, you pointed this A-Tripper straight out past the fringe. And then from there, back to Drybesh. Yes, that's the course that I plotted, following Sheffrey's coordinates. You just went. Just like I told all of you the other day, when you put me up in front of your crew. With no regard for your own safety. Anwill shrugs. But the earlier logs are the damning ones. Transponder, drive sig, warp sig, everything had been scrubbed from that A-Tripper. And the only reason you do that is if the ship is stolen. Anwill's eyes go wide as he looks between the two of you. You think I stole it? We don't know. All we know is that every bit of evidence in the ship's data logs suggests a shipjack got their paws on it. You said that you didn't have much in the way of creds on you. If you were desperate enough. I'm not a shipjack. You and Zuberi exchange a quick glance. His denial is forceful, at least. Anwill, an A-Tripper might be cheap, but if all you had was salvage, that's not enough to buy a ship. Not any ship. Barely enough there to buy an aerocraft, let alone anything capable of hyperlaunch. Anwill's jaws clench as he straightens up in his chair and stares Zuberi down. I am not a shipjack. For a long few moments, Zuberi holds Anwill's stare. To his credit, the Martin doesn't flinch once. Alright. The merch who sold it to you. How'd that come about? By asking around. I wasn't going to access a stolen terminal, not after my simulant turned on me. Most people wouldn't even be bothered answering me, but after a while someone overheard me, said that there was a ship merch on the far side of the SAT who might be able to help me. Help you how? Cheap chips. Chips with issues no one else wanted. I was desperate, and I was trapped, and I knew the longer that I stayed on the midrim, the closer BSS was to finding me. I had to get to the fringe. Zuberi glances at you, but you don't even need him to explain. Starship markets are tightly controlled. Anyone operating outside of them are usually criminally connected. What was the flaw with the A-Tripper? She said that the life support wasn't up to code, that it wouldn't be a problem if I just kept with maintenance, but that it was twitchy, sensitive, and that because life support is such a critical system, that's why it was being given away so cheap. I swear, that's how it went down. Zuberi's nodding along. It does look like the captain believes this story. Honestly, you feel like you do too. Oh, no I don't. It does sound like you bought a Jack ship. Something hot that she wanted to move fast. How would I even know? When you left the Corposat, were there any issues with Port Authority? Have to transfer you to supervisor? Anwill frowns before nodding after a moment. Yeah, until they cleared me when they ran the codes that the merch provided me with, in case that there was problems. Thought so. Your merch, the shipjack, probably, would have needed someone on the inside that they could pay off. Your transponder alone would have flagged Galsec otherwise. And that would have brought all manner of unpleasantness to their quarters. Probably get them shut down or worse. Anwill buries his face in his paws. Stars, I'm so stupid. I didn't even know. If you haven't spent most of your life in the black, you probably wouldn't need to know how this works. At least you sound like you believe me. Seen this sort of thing happen too much to doubt it too hard, and you don't look like a shipjack to me. Anwill turns to look at you. And do you believe me? Yeah, I believe you. Given everything that he said, yeah. You think you do. I do. Anwill swallows hard, his eyes misting up slightly at the acceptance. Thank you. I shouldn't even have asked. I should have known better. You shake your head. It's easy to understand why the Martin might have doubted. Don't worry about it. Seriously. I don't really trust you. Well, I'll still be grateful. You smile and nod to him. And for what it's worth, I believe you too. Anwill's eyes widen as he looks to the captain. You do? Look, your answers aren't encouraging. Your story feels off. None of this makes any sense. And I don't think that I've done anything to really help fill in the gaps. I don't know that I can. No, I don't think that you can either. But I'm not sure that I think that that's your fault. Anwill leans forward. He sighs so hard the surface of the table fogs up. Thank you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for putting you and your ship and your crew at risk. Maybe you should have just left me over there to die. Yeah, we should have. Well, that wasn't an option. Even knowing what you know now? Even now, I'm not the sort of person who would just let someone sit in trouble. He waves a paw towards you. Rail needed a fresh start. I've given him that because I believe in helping people who need it. And I am very grateful. He nods to you, but his eyes don't leave Anwill. He proved himself to me more than I have ever expected when he volunteered to go over to get you. Anwill nods, glancing over at you for a moment before locking once more on Zuberi. Thank you. I can't prove that we'll get you where you want to go. I don't think that I can promise anyone anything right now. But I can promise that we're not dropping you off on K2R. I'm not leaving you there to die. Anwill smiles warmly at Zuberi, and he nods to you as well. I'm glad. Thank you so much, but what does that mean now? What happens to me? What's going to happen is that you're going to go back to your room and take a moment for yourself. Maybe try to settle a little. First shift isn't far off, and I'm going to want you on the bridge with myself and Kalia so that we can figure out what that all does mean. That's a surprising development. Believing him is one thing, but bringing Anwill to the bridge again? Is he looking to adjust course to Anwill's coordinates? You find yourself hoping that you'll be there for that. It proves to be an interesting situation, however it plays out. Do you mind? No, of course not. You're already being more generous than I'd ever hoped. Thank you, sir, truly. Zuberi nods to him and waves a paw towards the door. Anwill rises a moment later, nods back, and you watch as he quickly hurries out. The smile on his face could probably power the dreamer. You look happy. You turn back to the wolf. He's wearing the same easy smile as he did before Anwill left. And this is about the point that you realize that you're smiling too. No, I'm not. I guess I am, and I'm glad that you reached the same conclusion. At least, if I'm wrong, we're both idiots. Maybe you are. You think that we might be wrong? Yeah? No. That's why you're here after all. Anwill's put a lot of faith in you, from what I've heard. I'm glad that it wasn't misplaced. I'm sure he was too. You nod slowly and then shake your head. You know, the story still doesn't make too much sense, right? No, I know it. We'd be idiots if we did, and I'm glad that your support for him hasn't blinded you. The situation's too messed up for it to not be. And right now, my take is that we don't know a damn thing about what's really going on. We can't. The only thing that I know for sure right now is that Anwill isn't going to be too useful in figuring out all this out. You nod. It's not an unreasonable consideration. You think that he doesn't actually know anything? I think that if he did know anything helpful, we would have heard it here. Sympathetic captain, the crew member that he appreciates the most, and no threatening Kalia. That's why I stuck him in the room for most of the day, to give him time to sit in it all, so that he'd be easier to manage now. Ah, so there was a purpose behind what seemed like a snap decision on the bridge. Nice idea. I have those sometimes. Kalia's not the only one who looks ahead and develops tactics. You're definitely not going to underestimate him next time. I'm glad that we're keeping him on board for now. It's a big risk though, isn't it? No more than any other, now that we've punched Lydia in the nose. You nod and sigh. I've never heard of a forgiving pirate captain. Me neither, and I've heard of plenty. He stirs through his stew with a sigh. You just about forgotten that he had a meal there. I don't know. I guess I just hope that there was something else. Something that he was holding back. Some burning thing that might explain what's going on. You don't have any ideas? Do you? You can only shake your head. None that make any sense, not besides taking Anwill at his word. Yeah, I'm in the same position. He brings a spoonful of the stew up to his muzzle and touches his tongue to it, only to sigh and drop the contents back into the bowl. It has to have gone cold. And even if every single thing Anwill said to us this whole time is the absolute truth, where does that get us? Biomech trying to assassinate staff and their family, hiring pirates to hunt them down because of some shady project that they're working on? What the fuck could be so important that they'd go to that level of trouble? He did say that his sister was working on Class 4 stimulant technology. Maybe she was going to sell it to a competitor? BSS doesn't have competitors, just pretenders. He shoves his bowl aside with a grunt. I came all the way out to that damn fringe to get away from this sort of burning mess. Guess the mess follows you wherever you go. Unfortunately. He stands up, grabs his bowl and heads back to the replicator. Looks like he's hoping to get a new meal. You know, there's one last reason why I wanted you to sit in on this. Our tour here is in shambles. I don't know if we're going to be able to complete it. You take a somewhat uneasy breath as you hear those words. You'd be lying if you told yourself that you hadn't expected that on some level, but still. Ever since Zuberi told you that this tour was all that stood between you and, well, repercussions you'd be lucky to avoid, it's been in the back of your mind. Now that quiet little thought roars back to the surface again. The reality is that I don't know if you'll be safe at the end of this. We might be about to go well off script. We might have to, with Lydia still lurking out there. I don't know what's coming next. Not immediately, and not at the end of the tour. I wish I did. Wish I had something, anything to reassure you with. Don't bother. The older wolf recoils slightly. It's not your fault. I don't blame you. It is a little bit my fault. You smirk up at him. Do you want me to blame you? I can work something up quick. Get some nice insults in. Zuberi chuckles to himself, though his expression still looks tense. Think I'm good. Thanks, though. Don't give up on me yet. I know this puts you on a bad spot, but I chose for you to be here. I didn't choose Anwill. If it comes down to it, I'm not letting you get punished because this tour took a turn. That won't happen. His tone firms as he stares you down. You've been good. I've been glad to have you aboard, and you're part of my crew. I won't let you burn for this. Yeah, whatever. Putting yourself on the line like that is a good way to get yourself a lot of trouble, you know? Probably, but it's nothing that I can't handle. Still, it's the sort of thing that would make a much younger wolf very grateful. Maybe grateful enough to show it in all sorts of ways. Zuberi smirks as he shakes his head at you. Why, Rail, are you trying to seduce me? No. Goodness, no. He lifts an eyebrow. Okay, yes, I am. But you can't tell me that that wasn't a good reason. Zuberi laughs as a replicator pings for his attention. You do realize that what you're describing could be construed as me taking advantage of you. You do realize that could be exactly what I want, right? You're making the case for it. Good. I've been told that I'm pretty persuasive. I'll take your word for it. I'm just saying, someone willing to go and support me that hard against those forces? My gratitude would be deep. You'd better hope that you're deeper. You almost choke on the air at the older wolf's reply. He doesn't even bat an eye, simply grinning back at you. You're left lost for words as he reaches into the replicator to retrieve the food within. Steam follows him as he carries it back to the table. You're also left feeling you're out just a little more than before. You just hope that he is too. You wind up lingering in the commissary with Zuberi a bit longer. After all, what better time and place to get a meal with him than right before your shift with him starts? Conversation does linger for a not inconsiderable amount of time on what all you've just discussed with him. It's hard to avoid the topic, given it hangs over the whole ship. You can't be sure of how happy Anwill is, all things considered. He seemed pleased with your approval and Zuberi's both, but the future is uncertain at best right now. At least, you can be sure that the dreamer is in capable paws. Zuberi seems to have a decent grasp of the situation. He's on top of it. You just wish that you felt like you were too. If nothing else, between talking with Zuberi and relaxing in the wake of Anwill's polite little interrogation, you do eventually relax a little bit more. It puts you in a good position before your shift. By the time that your reader pings for attention and lets you know third shift is on the way out, you and Zuberi have finished cleaning up the commissary. The smell from before lingers but less than earlier. Zuberi heads off to the bridge as you finish up, promising to see you soon. That's something that you'll have to worry about once you've headed back to your quarters to get cleaned up. You make your way along the corridor to your door and key it open. You step inside, looking around. Everything is just as you left it. For a second, you pause, looking up towards the ceiling as you perk your ears. Stray? Are you alright? Just, waiting. Wondering what's gonna go wrong now. I can gratefully say that I can detect no hostile craft within my sensor range. It's the ships that are within your sensor range that you can't detect that I'm worried about, Oba. No sense worrying about ships that I can't detect, Stray. If they are there, they are not threatening us. If they aren't, we're fine. You sigh. She's got a point, irritating though it is. Now, because you so clearly need it, I expect you to go and clean up before your shift. Zuberi would unplug me if I let you go and stink up the bridge. Going. You're so considerate, Oba. I am. I am a regular paragon of virtue. If only you were all like me. But seriously, go. I'll have a snack ready for you when you get back, but only if you're a good puppy and take your refresher cycle. You roll your eyes but smile anyway. A snack is about all you feel like anyway. I'm going. Good. You chuckle as you strip down and make your way to the refresher. You key in a quick cleanse cycle. No need to go too hard on it right now. You close your eyes as the thrumming of the refresher washes over you. By the time that the cycle is done, you definitely feel a little better. Not as much better as you'd like, given you have a whole work shift ahead of you, but you're better nonetheless. and dress swiftly in your uniform.
Oh, he's looking so dapper and clean, and just in time too.
Your ears perk up as the delivery door by your table slides clear. The plate on it bears a few cubes of slightly sauced meat and a mug of calf.
Just a snack before you arrive on your shift. Breakfast certainly didn't feel appropriate.
It's more than I expected, Oba. Thank you.
You're welcome, Stray. You've been working hard, so I think that you've earned more than just the basics.
You smirk and shake your head as you sit down on the table. Brom didn't give you a stern talking to, did he? Make you promise not to dishonor the notion of food with a simple replicator meals or something?
I'll not blame anyone at all for saying any such things. But if I was inclined to, I absolutely would blame Bromka, and I would be quite right to do so.
You chuckle as you pull your plate closer to you, but Oba tuts at you.
Hold on a moment, Stray. Your esteemed captain is at the door for you.
You scramble back to your feet, instinctively trying to brush the crumbs and creases that don't exist on your uniform away moments before the door opens. He nods to you, waving a paw in your direction. May I come in? Of course, sir. Door's open after all. And it's your ship. He chuckles as he steps inside, and the door slides shut after him. All ready for shift? Definitely getting there. You motion behind yourself to the food Oba had delivered, and Zuberi winces. Sorry, this won't take long. I've got a lot to get ready for too. Well, that's not worrying. You nevertheless nod to Zuberi and clasp your paws behind your back. I didn't get a chance yesterday, with Lita showing up and all. Have you still been listening to the crew, seeing if they got anything new on Anwill? Well, I couldn't on, yesterday. Yesterday? Time feels weird right now. Yeah, I bet. Things are a bit out of sorts right now. Oh, then again, I'd be damned impressed if you were able to get anything out of anyone at game night. Anything not related to the game, at least. He chuckles to himself. And what about today? You rack your brain for a moment before you nod. Brom's pretty much where you would expect him to be. Zuberi nods. Brom leaves his heart very open. Nothing to worry about there. Not that I can see. Nothing that warrants concern anyway. Good. I don't like the idea of someone using him. You shrug and shake your head. That's all that I've got. Zuberi sighs as he nods. Alright. Thank you, Rail. I know that you don't like this, but right now, well, we need to know whatever we can. And with Lita in pursuit, thinking that she can track Anwill wherever he goes. I get it, really. It's okay. I might not like it, but I said that I'd do it, so... The captain nods again, this time smiling as he does so. I appreciate it, Rail, truly. You take care of yourself and sorry about getting in the way of your breakfast. A glance back shows that it hasn't gone cold yet, at the least. You shrug. I'm sure it's fine. And I won't hold you up. See you on a shift shortly. Yes, sir. Good luck. Oh, we'll need it. You catch him grimace before he turns back around. It's already open by the time that it comes into view, and Zuberi steps through it without breaking stride. It only takes a step back to bring you to your little table, and you sink down into it again with a frown. After the day that you've had, the week really, the suspicion doesn't feel great. Hey, Oba, what do you mean by that?
All things in their time, Stray. You have breakfast to get to.
Thanks. So helpful.
That's what I'm here for, you know. I'm always glad to do the bare minimum.
You can't help but chuckle as you pull the plate close to you once more. The laughter rings a little hollow, of course, but as you start to pick at the food and sip at the calf, you try not to dwell. It's been a full day, even if your role in the ship's operation was minimal, and it's not like you weren't exhausted right from the start. The presence of Lita and her white fangs have changed things. The whole tone of this tour with the Dreamer has changed now. The threat hangs over everything you do. It'd be foolish of you, of anyone on the crew, to underestimate her. You'd like to imagine that she's going to lick her wounds for a while, step back from the Dreamer perhaps, and prepare for a future action. You don't doubt that action will come. For the moment, you just hope that it's far, far away. That when she comes, the Dreamer is ready for it. The ship, you're confident will be. The crew, probably. As for yourself, well, that unfortunately remains to be seen. To be continued. So, the interrogation went a little bit, into the unproductive territory. We didn't really get anything out of Anwill. Like, literally the only thing that we know from Anwill is exactly what we already know. And even though we more or less, they more or less grilled them on what they found out from like the ship's logs and everything, it didn't really reveal anything. It just sort of revealed that he may have bought a stolen ship from some unknown person who made it very easy for him to leave because they were trying to offload the ship because it was stolen or whatever. And I mean, there was a mention of the what's it called? The life support system being wonky unless you were, giving it regular maintenance. But it still doesn't really help with any of the lingering doubts about Anwell's story, about why he heals so fast, how he was able to survive for so long in a wonky ship that was attacked, with apparently a life support system that just wasn't gonna work. So there's a lot of holes in his story. It's Swiss cheese, pretty much, his story. And the fact that he isn't really willing to expand on what he's doing right now with his quote unquote sister's, data or whatever that she supposedly gave him is still very suspicious. Like, there is really no reason to trust him, despite the fact that the captain and Rail are like, oh, but we trust him. Like, the poor guy, pobrecito. Like, ew. I know you guys have morals, but like, be a little smarter. Be a little bit suspicious, a little bit more suspicious. I mean, they after Anwill disappeared, they're like, yeah, we don't really we still have questions. We still don't really trust his story. But at the same time, like, my God, you guys are a little too trusting. I would have like locked him in the room and just dumped him as fast as possible. But no, the captain is apparently a bleeding heart person. But whatever. But yeah, like, there is a lot of unknowns, but there is a lot of like red flags all over the place. So it's like, would we be faulted for saying like, yeah, you're a lot more trouble than you're worth? And considering the fact that if anything really goes wrong where the trip has to be postponed, it's gonna just go bad, really bad for Rail. So yeah. Like, you're making it very hard to want to keep you Anwell. Like, literally, you're making it very hard by just not providing anything. Anything at all. But what do you guys think? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching/listening. If you would like to play Void Dreaming yourself, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page, or you can download and play the game yourself. If you would like to support the project, they do have a Patreon where you can subscribe and get earlier access to builds of Void Dreaming. I believe the next part is already up, so you can look at that already. And if you would like to support the channel, you can become a channel member, which gives you earlier access to the videos as they're being scheduled. I do not know when this one will go up, but I am recording it on the 13th because I was taking a break playing Pokopia. And I also have Resident Evil Requiem that I should be playing. I have so many games that I want to play, but I don't have time because I have to record this. I have to make room for like personal gaming and not feel bad about it too. Anyways, so yeah, become a channel member. It helps support me and it helps support the channel. And it's like, hey, money, monthly basis. I go, thank you. Scheduled videos, catch. And if you can't do that, then, there is Ko-fi. And any form of support helps, really. Like and subscribe the video. Do all that jazz. And I do have a throne in case you're feeling overly generous. I am saving up to buy a MacBook Air, the new one, because I don't trust Windows to continue to function properly. Even though it is the primary operating system that I have been using since what was it, Windows 95? It's been a while. I generally do not like using Mac, but I do not trust the Windows anymore, unfortunately. Because it kind of seems like they're vibe coding it, and trying to shove Copilot into everything. So it's like, ugh. I'm sorry, Windows, but I can't use you anymore. I cannot trust that you will continue to operate properly. My computer hasn't been updated since November of last year, 2025, because I do not trust that one of the various Windows updates won't break something. And I know that there at least have been 3 Windows updates, latest updates since January, that have broken things. And even NVIDIA, which is the type of graphics processor that I have, they have stated that there is one of the updates that broke something, which was making certain games run like ass. So yeah, I haven't updated it because I'm scared to do so, basically. So it's like, what if I give Mac a chance? And it's a MacBook Air. It's not that expensive, but it is still $2,000 that I have. I just don't want to spend that much. Maybe that could be the throne thing. It's just a little bit of a hey, here's some extra money for the MacBook. Maybe I can do that. Or maybe Ko-fi. I don't know, whatever. We'll see. Anyway, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.